What's going on, everyone? So it's gonna be a really just straightforward video, no edits or anything like that, but I just want to talk about the power of your identity when it comes to trading. So in trading, we get into trading to make money, and one thing that you'll see if you've been in the market a good amount of time, or even you just started in the market, right? Yes, you have your strategy, you have your process that you follow, but you'll see that there will be occasions where you're following your strategy, and then certain things happen in the market that might be unexplainable sometimes. What I mean by this is you'll be following your strategy and then you get stopped out by a point, and then price literally goes in your direction right after, and then you're questioning yourself and you feel like, did I do something wrong, right? Or you end up, just the most unfortunate circumstance happens where you get caught entering a buy right before some unexpected news event happens, and price just literally destroys your stop loss right then and there, right? And I want to just talk about your identity and how this does play into trading and just what happens. So understand that the market just reflects the beliefs that you have, and it's literally like a mirror. So it's reflecting yourself. You're seeing the beliefs and the underlying limiting beliefs essentially that you have. So if you're impatient, right, if you believe that the market is not abundant and there's not a lot of opportunity in the market, you're going to feel a need to try to catch every move, and you might overtrade. You might have fear of missing out, and that's going to be reflected in the market, right? So your underlying beliefs, they show up in the market, and that all comes and stems from your identity and who you are. If you don't identify as someone who is an overtrader because you understand that the market is abundant and my setup will present itself because over this sample size of data it tends to play out time and time again, then you're not going to overtrade. But if you don't have that belief deeply embedded into your heart, then that's not what's going to be shown through your actions. It's not what's going to happen over time. And the reason why I want to talk about this real quick is because the beliefs that you have and who you are as a person, who you identify as, affects your trading 100%. So your beliefs, how you see yourself, is all tied to your identity, right? Your self-image is all tied to your identity. And if your self-image isn't right, then you're literally going to self-sabotage. That's the best way to put it. You're going to self-sabotage in trading. So you have to cultivate an identity. If you haven't questioned your identity as a person and who you are, what do you value, what do you believe, this is something that you have to really do some work on. And look at your heart, right? Do some reflection, get a piece of paper, sit down, and just write out everything that you have done, in your life, or that you have came to believe, maybe from other people, or your own beliefs that you've cultivated over the years. Write them down. See what you believe. And the Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So what we believe essentially is going to affect our reality, and that creates the reality that we live in, right? Our beliefs, how we see ourselves. So that is so important in trading, because if you as a person don't have an identity where I'm detached to the market, I'm focused on the process and not the profits, right? An identity where I value peace in trading. I love to get in, when the time is right, and I'm just a person who's always there when opportunity is there, and I capitalize on opportunity. If that's not a belief that's ingrained in your heart because of your identity, then you're going to be finding yourself in situations where even if you have a strategy, even if you have a specific plan you stick to, you might just find yourself in the weirdest circumstances where you're getting stopped out right before price runs to your target, or you're again, you get caught in a random situation where price just literally stop hunts you and then runs, or you get in right before news comes out. Different things like that. and you get caught up in these circumstances and you think it's like just random, but it's not. It's a reflection of your internal values, of your beliefs reflected into the market. And that's where that self-sabotage comes in. If you feel like I always get to this certain point and then I end up just losing it all, right? I'll have this run of good, this good trading run where I'm executing my plan, I'm doing good, and then in a week or in a day, I tend to just lose it all because of self-sabotage and just doing random stuff. Literally just like taking bad trades, not part of my trading plan, and then you step back and you're like, why did I do this? It's because your self-image is not right. You don't have that self-image that says I'm worthy of consistent profits in this market. I deserve this. So if you don't feel like you're worthy enough for the profits in the market, you're always going to tend to give those profits right back to the market. You're not going to be able to grow an account. You're not going to be able to keep it. And I'm saying all this out of experience because these are real things that I've experienced in this market and just trading. It's just real stuff that not a lot of people talk about, but it's something that needs to be addressed, because if you want to see consistent success in this market, you have to have the right beliefs ingrained into your heart, and that all comes from your identity. So just want to talk about this. Do some internal reflection. Look at yourself. Journal. Take a piece of paper. Write down the current beliefs that you have. See if they're even serving you. See where they come from, right? Does it come from truth, or does it come from just a lie that you've been fed? See where these beliefs are coming from, and then look to change it. Look to renew your mind and develop beliefs that will serve you in trading, and you'll see the results of it in your trading and in your profits and then consistency in the market.